Good morning.
Good morning.
And let us just refresh and to use some better word. Happy morning. Ayman Al-Wadi, a group executive chairman from coming all the way from Dubai to explain, not to sell any product, but just to explain what we invented and what we put together to serve well a better marketplace. Trade with confidence. We chosen the word to go a bit out of normal classic litigation and non-litigation stuff. And we use the two terminology, what all about claims and recovery. So pre-litigation and litigation supply chain. Ayman Al-Wadi, again, 26 years of experience in claims and recovery, invented a supply chain, started with an office, then a holding company to hold AWAE, AWKSA, AW-MAN, and AW Egypt. And for past 13 years out of the 26 years, we invented AWCBC, a cross-border center to give solution and a leverage in 150 countries. Then let us just talk about terminology. Let us talk the same language. Let's be in the same picture. What are we talking about? When we talk about collecting debt, which is the most important part to traders, to exporters. Debt collection, we believe it is not the right terminology. The right terminology should be debt settlement, and in a legal framework called the pre-litigation. And let us agree on another fact, that it is a collection or a pre-litigation or a debt settlement. It is not enough for the market needs and the corporates and the traders and the exporters. And let's agree that the economy, the global economy, it's been challenging in all aspects. And lawyers and all other suppliers within that domain for litigation or pre-litigation, they need just to look out of the market needs, economy needs. If we look at the challenges in a global level, we talk about currency fluctuation, inflations, and I believe all of us, our duty to support the traders, the economy, the exporters. Then if we agree that this is a demand and market needs beyond the litigation and the litigation and the pre-litigation. Let us remember that the corporates today, if they are not able to collect their debts, in due course they would be debtors. This is something like every corporates we're dealing with, every exporters, every traders, they are just open dialogue with us that we got an issue to collect back our debts, and because of that we became like a debtor in some other businesses. So this is how we look at it from a business point of view. As we said, another thing I would like just to put it as simple as that the debtor, he's not a criminal. He's a person or a corporate. They are not in a great position, and because of that they went through such. And it is not the way just to crash the debtor. It's not the way just to harass or to put unbelievable pressure on the debt to collect back. It is actually the way to partner with the debtor and to understand further how this can be handled. Yes. Litigation, it is needed for corporates, for traders, and pre-litigation, it is needed further and more and pre the litigation. Both of them, we believe it is not enough. And we, out of the 26 years of experience working closely with the credit insurance, the export credit agencies, and the top 10 players in any industry, we find there is a bigger need, which is a supply chain. The charming way to trade, actually they need the litigation and the pre-litigation, and furthermore we will the sustainable supply chain. Now this is what we have done over the 26 years and the past 13 years in the cross-border. So from a branch to holding company and market our own marketplace, and 13 years for a global coverage, because we believe that trades has no borders. And we apply the supply chain. Now I'll be delighted just to take you through its drivers. We apply it with corporates, traders, exporters, and we find that after applying such, they are experiencing in a 12-month time a revenue and managing risk better with like 70 to 80%. What is the supply chain all about? Before getting there, the drivers being built to have fit in a combination way to end up standing with the economy and traders and exporters, starting with the first drivers after onboarding and compliance. We've got solution and scientific tools to plug into the portfolio. And I would like to refer to, there is less transparency in information and due diligence in the Middle East and the MENA region. And because of that, we built a few tools and platforms to explain few questions at our cost. Is it collectible or not collectible? Is it domestic or cross-border? Is it amicable or legal? Is it short-term or medium or long-term? After the onboarding and after answering these questions, we're putting ourselves, managing our expectation and the corporate expectation and the client expectation with if it's collectible or not, domestic or cross-border, short or medium or long-term, legal or amicable. Then right after, we give into the second driver, the debt settlement, the debt collection, that pre-litigation. So the teams being put together and educated well to explain the reason of default. And not only their duty to collect, no, it's their duty to understand reason of default and to come up with a practical set of solutions suiting the market, suiting the debtor condition, suiting the client condition. And of course, along with that, if we look at the process and the scientific model we put to trace, to understand the reason of default, to come up with a practical set of solution to land in a successful collection between brackets pre-litigation. Why we decided to put it in a completely separate company, separate goals, objective, KPIs, because the mindset and the corporate B2B, the collection or pre-litigation, it is not the same of the lawyers and the litigation in the first place. So after answering all the questions, what else we find the market needs further to advise the client, help him to get, other than the settlement, new collaterals, new information, to make it a definite debt, and to solve all disputes. And at the end of it, within 30 to 90 days, they need to make sure that either it is a successful collection, or a payment plan, or a little waiver, just to get things in place. And we need actually just to explain further our experiences that a lot of debtors choose not to pay amicably. And we're seeing actually this is increasing further and further in all the marketplace that we are working with. And because of that, we've done our acquisition in some law firms in different territory, different jurisdiction, different compliance frameworks, and we built a team to serve this time not just like a classic litigation, but it is a combination starting from the credit risk and the business advisory look and whatever information and evidence, exact locations, settlement of agreement through the debt settlement, and doing a free legal opinion and educating the client the possibilities from A to Z. And this is where I'll go to AWLD as the third driver. So through a full-fledged law firm with expert team, not just to run litigation, but just to understand the background of the business transaction and to come up with managing expectation of the client, explaining to him the journey of the LDS, the legal debt settlement. So we experienced that a lot of clients, they won't understand, like, what does it mean first course, then appeal, then a Supreme Court, then when it can be referred to an expert, legal expert. So educating the client, we find a better response. We find actually an appreciated response. Putting these all together in a framework, extraordinary, more than a legal opinion, but it giving the legal support, supporting the client to take the right call, to tell him that this is the margin of risk. This is what you may experience in first court, in appeal, in Supreme. This is the risk factors. This is actually the obligation and the financial commitments you may experience. We partnering with the clients. And here we go. We find that the economy is not that great, and the clients, sometimes to an extent, they don't have the capacity to fund. The big discussion we had this morning. So we created four bundles, four products. So sometimes the clients will say, I'm not in position to pay the court. So sometimes we paying the court. And sometimes he said, I'm not in position to do this or that. The products we created, it is more or less to share risk with the client and to accept risk with the client and to explain that we are with you till the final successful collection. We are not only here just to obtain a legal judgment with you. We are here to collect till the last. And here what we have done, it is in contingency, and it is we sharing the risk till the end, and we find a serious response from the credit insurance, the leaders or the backbone of any economy, that they said, no, you make it easier. So you give me the business look at it, you give me the business analytic of it, you give me all the facts and factors and risks, and even you go with me sharing the risk till the end. We are, at this moment, actually the success rate is exceeding 97%. The reason is, we will not take a case unless we really believe on it. We're putting our own money on it, we put a big budget for it, and again, as all our other previous panelists, they said, it's due from jurisdiction to jurisdiction and compliance and regulatory to regulatory. The good news, like recently, like Dubai, at least they allow the law firm just to get in these type of partnerships. Then going further from the litigation or the pre-litigation, we find that credit, which is the main element in any economy, in any trade, in any export, credit has no borders. As we talk now, there is plenty, millions of transactions worldwide. There is no visa for these transactions to be obtained. Since that, we discovered that 13 years back, and we invented AWCBC Cross-Border Center. So being served from our marketplace, where we are expert in our region, in our domain, and it gives us through our partners, through association under the regulator, through business partners directly and indirectly in 150 countries. I'll give you a little story of how it did arrive, or we arrived to AWCBC. It is as simple as the pre-litigation success rate went just down. As an example, because I'm covering many regions, but I'll take Dubai as one of these examples. It has more than 204 nationalities. So the normal, the human being reaction that he will leave the country, and it is not a shame, and it is not a crime. And such human behavioral debt action, we find that we are not able to find those debtors in the United Arab Emirates. So we start, this is the journey of the 13 years for the cross-border. Then we open the first, second, third branches. Then we get an association in the global association for the pre-litigation, the debt collection, and the lawyers all over the globe. We qualify the lawyers. We are B2B. We work in always medium, large, and XX large ticket size. We qualify lawyers. We put a platform that when the debtor escape and disappear, we've got a tracing team to search home country within compliance. And we start seeing actually they are in home countries. But believe it or not, after in a bit, we are not able to find them in Dubai, neither in their home country. Again, the success rate dropped further. Then we said, okay, what's next? We are on a business advisor, so what is the reason behind? So we start finding those debtors, they flying actually to the countries allowing the second citizenship. Then we start opening a dialogue and understanding of how can we settle the thing. Then actually we picked up the success rate again. Going further, we had another drop. They are not in Dubai, they are not in the second home, or they are not like anywhere. So we invested more and more in business advisory and intelligence and due diligence to find such debtors. Where they're still alive. Where are they? We start finding them in Saudi Arabia and Oman. I'm trying to give this to explain how much we need to be global and local. Global and local and global. Because actually it is not anymore nowadays, it's Netherlands, or Dubai, or Saudi Arabia, or China. All we are connected in in those business transactions in a way or other. So we presenting, and again for the pre-litigation, it is a serious industry. It has existed in Europe and stayed for past 100 years. There is a proper regulator. There is a community like the lawyers. So we connected the dots and explaining actually how can we further understand and put further solution to the economy and actually to the traders and exporters. After this journey in 1, 2, 3 supply chain components, the drivers, we find ourselves that getting to all these, we are in position to explain the client why in first place you are having such an issue, a pain to collect back. So we created AWCRA Credit Risk Advisory. So we get now the experience from the business advisory to the pre-litigation to the litigation to the cross-border, advising the client that look at how you would give a credit. When you call back the credit, how you qualify those credits, when you need to get out of or call off a credit. We provided actually 5, it is a combination, 5 products out of the previous supply chain drivers. At the end, global means languages, and because of that, we had for past, again, 13 years, a driver called AW Translation Services, duly authorized from Ministry of Justice, and we've got sworn translator and dedicated translator. There is a big important element we find there's a gap need to be filled, that you submitting a document in China, in France, and in Italy, and the language, and a little misunderstanding or mistranslation to a single word can really impact and actually to demolish all the goals of the litigation. And because of that, we got a dedicated, and we are only in financial claims, recovery and claims. So the translators we do, it is to translate the meaning, not the meanings, not exact words. So the reading between the lines, of course, within the ethic and principle. This is the supply chain we created. This is what we kept doing for past 26 years, 13 years in a cross-border. Resulted that we working with government, semi-government, and all top 10 industries, plus main and core business with credit insurance and export credit insurance. This is what we've done, and we thought to share. We may capitalize what our investment in this supply chain and all jurisdictions and all several jurisdiction and matters and a complex fine. Yes, it is a time to answer a question, and looks to me that I've done it in 20 minutes. Hopefully I make it simple. Hopefully I make it adding value, and I'm really happy to answer a question. And if the time won't allow us to just do it over the stage here, I'll be around within the 3 days, explore further about our relation with the law firms and in first place GLA. Please.
Any questions?
No questions. Fine. I remain available. Thank you for listening.
There are no questions.
Yes, someone trying and hesitating to quote. Fine.
I may ask. So how difficult, you say you are present in 150 plus countries. So how difficult is to trace people who have suppose fled Dubai? A debtor has fled Dubai, he has overnight shut the company and now he is residing in India. How would you look for them? Because it's very difficult for even the police to look for a person who has gone out of the country.
A very good question, and this is what I said. In the Middle East, there is less information transparency. There is no proper, serious, well-connected between the regional credit bureau, and because of that, we created our own bureau to an extent that Etihad bureau and United Arab Emirates, they get a subscription in this platform. The information over the 26 years we look at not only qualitative and quantitative, we look at behavioral. So we understand that this nationality, this age, this LLC, there is a parameter we apply to our platform and will give you all the possibilities, this debtor where he can be. In a way of the place of birth, the second citizenship to search, and here this is a part, the very much bigger part than this, to have the right partner to do the investigation and the due diligence, especially, and it should be within compliance, within compliance framework. So there are tools, there are a special service provider for such. There is a platform putting all these, looking at qualitative, quantitative, and behavior. Always it is a medium to long-term collection. And always it gives us around like 80% if we manage to find the debtor we located in any different jurisdiction.
Right, because I think this will be a kind of a little voluminous task. I mean, it's a retail kind of recovery. Because the bigger corporate recovery will be easy to trace and find out where the CEO director has fled. But it is the retail client, like individuals who have taken the loan, the personal auto whatever is taken.
Fine. We are B2B, so business to business. And I would say that B2B and B2C, because the MD skip or the business owner bankrupt, in beginning of the story, he's individual. So we search for the individuals, we search for the company business transaction with their vendors, with their suppliers, with their competitors, and plug all these to the platform, giving you all the possibilities. As such, I can tell you that almost once we manage just to locate the data, it is a matter of like another 50% to negotiate well and to educate and explain, not to threat that today it won't cost you to hire a lawyer and to pay the courts. It's better just to set and to mediate more to collect.
Okay, thank you.
Laja, any further question before going down here? Fine, I'll be available. Thank you for listening.